Okay, let's get on to the video that I don't really want to do. It's more builds. As always, it is a Maserati, so what can you expect, right? So let's get on to the stuff that I have done. No, actually, let's get on to the stuff that's been done before I got the car, then the stuff that I have done, the stuff that I need to do, and then the new stuff that have popped up that I need to do that you guys don't know about. So, what's been done to this car? So, this car, as far as I know, had brand new suspension on the rear done just before I got the car. Basically, they got it all done as they were trying to sell it, or before they tried to put it up for sale. So the rear suspension's been done completely, which I'll get onto that in a minute. All tyres have been done. Obviously, I'm driving it a lot, so they won't really last that long, but they're quite nice tyres. Again, comment below if you prefer Pirelli tyres or the Michelin, because I'm not sure. Some people say Pirelli because like Ferrari have Pirelli and they're better. Some people say the Michelin Pilot Sport or 4S Sport, whatever it is better. Let me know and then I'll get them next. Or I could do a video actually. I could change to the Michelins and then see if there's a big difference. I mean, these tyres are brilliant. I mean, they don't skid anywhere. They don't wheel spin like everyone says that this car, if you put your foot down in the rain, it like skids and it just loses traction. I've never had that. I'm not sure if it's because the tyres are good, I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, so that was done. They've had, I think it's only the rear discs, brand new rear discs were done. And the rear brake pads were done. So that's the things that was done. Now let's get on to the things that I had to do, which is the costly parts. Obviously, as you know, when I got the car, it broke down, so we had to get a new battery, and then it broke down again, and I had to get it fixed because it needed a new alternator, which was a lot of money, and I got that fixed. So that was on day one, basically, which is not good start, is it, on your one of your dream cars. And then obviously I was driving it around a little bit more, and then more things was happening to it. So like obviously the door handle needs doing, which I'm getting done at the end of the month. Yes, I could go into other things, but I've done a video on like the little things, like the switches, the like the headliner needs doing. I'm on about things that need doing, like the door handle needs doing because I can't open it from the outside. So that's more important than just like the headliner, like sagging a little bit. So that's going to be done soon. And then obviously because the door's bowing out as well, that needs to be done because the side skirt's not on properly. I think it's because where it's been wrapped, it sort of like bows it out a little bit. So we get that done. But what other stuff did I have to do to it? So obviously you heard this like ticking sound. I thought it was to do with like the suspension wasn't put on properly, if it's like a brand new suspension, or are they lying? I mean, I've got an invoice for it, so I can't see that they're lying. So there's like a ticking sound, but they said it's to do with the brake shoes and like the handbrake cables and that. So I had to do like the handbrake cables, which was like £600 ridiculous, and then the brake shoes. So that all came to like £1,500, I think it was. Had to get done. So, but they're all done now. Even though I never used a handbrake because you're not meant to on this car because the brakes can stick. So they say not to use a handbrake, just do park off. Which in another video I said about the tension. I'm not sure if it's good on like the gearbox because on other cars if you put it in like park and don't use your handbrake, it's not good for like the gearbox. But apparently that's why there's a park off button. If you do the park off button, it does something where it doesn't put pressure on it, so that's fine. Otherwise they wouldn't have a park off button, right? That's probably why they put it there, because they knew that the brakes would stick. I don't know why they've even put a fucking handbrake in there. I suppose if you're on the hill you need it, but anyway. It's a weird system. I've never had a car where the brakes would stick because it's been like parked up, but anyway. What can you do, eh? Maserati. Or Ferrari as well. So that's the things that I've done. Before we actually get on to the new stuff, obviously I need the engine light to be taken off, but that's not really like a massive problem. I know why it's there. It's not going to like affect the car. So yeah, we can leave that one for now, but it does need to be done. And obviously the valves, when I've got the exhaust checked out, like to see what we're going to do to the exhaust, I've got the valves checked to see what's going on there, and one side's completely shut. So I need to get that done as well. And there's a reason for that, but I'll do another video on that. But it doesn't need to be done like to the point where it's gonna fuck up the car, like completely. So I will get it done. But let's get on to like the brand new stuff that's popped up. So because I was losing coolant, I had the coolant changed like, I think it was about 3 weeks ago. And I've had to top up the coolant 4 times since then. They did say that like the first one you will have to, because like it's had to do with like the pressure or something, it will drop. So the first one you will have to, but then it happened again. I thought, okay, maybe it just needs to be like topped up again. And then it needed to be done again. So I thought it's just because I've been driving it around a lot and these cars go through a lot of coolant. So then I topped it up. But then I topped it up only like 3 days ago, and then I checked my coolant and it went down to below minimum. And I was like, what, in 3 days? That can't be right. So I thought there's got to be something wrong. So then I said that like if they could have a look at it, they went, yeah, we'll have a look at it. We won't charge you because it's our fault otherwise. But if there is a problem, then obviously I have to charge them like the £39 like diagnostic fee. So they're like half an hour thing. So they had to look at it, and then he came back to me and I went, oh, what now? So I went in, and he went, well, good news and bad news basically. So I don't know if you've seen a video where I was doing the grill, where I was explaining about this silicone bit of rubber that goes across the grill that basically hides like where the Torx goes, and it hides like the polystyrene, because there's polystyrene in the grill. I don't know why these high-end cars have polystyrene. I mean, come on. But there's polystyrene there. I'm not sure if it's to save weight or some sort of purpose, but it looks shit. So they basically put like some sort of like rubber across it to hide it. But I was missing mine. And so the good news is, he found it. It was like trapped, basically like under my car, which is literally, and it was making a noise in my car. So what is that? Because I heard this like saying like hitting the floor, and it was this. So this is the long rubber that they found that goes across the grill for the polystyrene bit. It's like to hide it. So they found that. That's one thing that's good. Okay, let's go to the bad stuff. Yes, I have got a coolant leak. There's a crack, a slight crack in it. So I'm driving it around now. I shouldn't be driving it around because they said that if it's a pressurised coolant, you shouldn't drive it around at all, because it can actually like heat up. Well, obviously I'm keeping an eye on it just to make sure it's not like overheating. But if it overheats and everything, it could potentially like ruin your engine. Then you need to like have an engine rebuild, which the cheapest engine I've seen for a Maserati was like 11.5 grand, and that's without actually doing the work. So you're probably looking at a minimum of about 15 grand or something stupid. And that's for one that I don't know how many miles have been put on it. That's the thing that I would hate to get. Is like an engine, but you have to get it checked out to see how many miles it's done, which you can get it checked out. But I don't know how many miles it's done, but that's the cheapest one I've seen. There's another one that's like 13,700 or something. But yeah, hopefully we don't go down that route, but it's cracked anyway. So it needs a new coolant tank. I'm not sure how much they're going to charge me. I say them because they go through like the specialist or Maserati specialist, and they're probably going to charge a lot of money for it. I thought it was going to be like £500 for just like to get the tank, that's without the work. But I looked on eBay and like other places, and I found they're about £45 for a tank, so they're cheap to buy. But I say that the alternator was cheap to buy, £120, but then because it was a specialist, they wanted £900 odd. So I'm not sure what it's going to cost, and I don't even know if it's the correct part. You need to make sure it's definitely the correct part, and it's very hard to find the parts, like the numbers, because Maserati never want to tell you, where other companies probably would, but Maserati don't. They don't want to tell you anything. You have to get it from them, because if they tell you the number, they know you're going to go somewhere else and get it cheaper, right? That's what's going to happen. So I'm not sure what it's going to cost, but I'm just waiting for them to phone me today to get a cost on it, but it does need a new one. So I'm going to go to the shop, get some more coolants, so I'll keep on topping it up basically. Like if I drive around like one time, it goes down a little bit, so I need to keep topping it up. I'm going to get some epoxy, because they said that you can use that as long as it can withstand the temperature, to like seal it, just for like a temporary fix, because I need to drive around to work and everything as well, so I do need to use the car still. I don't want to, but I need to like seal it up so it'd be better. So we'll do that. That's just a cheap fix. And then another bad thing is when I was getting the exhaust checked out, because like, I was going to do like the long tube headers, so they was looking up to where the headers are. They noticed on the driver's side, underneath, they said that you got a slight oil leak. He said it's nothing bad at the moment. He said it should be fine for a little while, but eventually you will need to get it checked out. So I'm getting them to check it out, the NRP, to check out the oil leak, how bad it is, how long until I need to change it, and how much it's roughly going to be, because I need to know in advance. If you've got a Maserati or a Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever, you want to get these things checked out as soon as. You don't want to wait to the point where it's leaking and you need to do it there and then. It's like, oh yes, that'll be £5 please. And it's like, oh well, fuck, you only got to try and work out your money. I'd rather get it sorted now, so I've got the money in there when it does happen, or just get it repaired now so I don't have to worry about it before it gets too bad. But the oil leak is to do with the rocker cover gasket, which apparently is like the least one that's like the most expensive. Like obviously, like if you've got like the main one, which is like the head gasket, that's the main one that costs you the most money. But the rocker cover should be a lot less money. But then again, it's Maserati, you don't know. Like, I mean, the head gasket could be like a £5 fix, and then the rocker cover could be like still £2 fix. I mean, it's still expensive, but so I'm not exactly sure on that one. But that's just the things I need to do to it again. More money to spend on it. I mean, I've only had it for what, nearly 2 months this car, and I've spent so much money getting it done. But once it's all done, and then I can relax. These things will last ages afterwards, is what I'm saying. Like, a coolant tank should last quite a while. I mean, I don't think it's ever had a new coolant tank in the 62,000 miles that it was driving before I picked it up. I mean, there's no invoice for one, so I'm not sure. It might be the first one, it might be the original. So I might have to change it this time and then never have to change it again. Same with the oil leak. This might be the first time it's happened and I'll never have to do that again. Like the discs are all done, the suspension's done, obviously apart from the clicking. That could be to do with something else. Like I said, the alternator's done, that will last at least another 60,000 miles, so I'll probably never have to do that one again. So there's a lot of things that will cost, because it's at that age that you need to like replace things. But yes, it will cost me a lot of money now, but then it'll be fine afterwards because I know that I've sorted it. That's a good thing about doing it yourself as well. You know what's been done to it, you know that it's sorted, and we can go from there. Another thing I've done to it as well was just like fluid changes, you know, like the coolant, which we have to redo now anyway. Brake fluids, hydraulic powered steering fluids. The fuel filter, I don't know if it's ever been done because there's no invoice for it. It might have been done, but there's just no invoice. So that's like a £700 thing to do that. That might be why I've lost quite a bit of power, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's just a few things. I always say few things, it never is a few things to do to the Maserati. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I mean, again, I haven't, but it's just the way that it is. You just got to maintain your cars, get things fixed. Like I said, 65,000 miles, it's going to need stuff doing to it. So I'll see you for the next one. This was a bit of a depressing one, isn't it? A bit of a downer, but let's just get on to another video where it's going to be a bit happier and some more modifications. That would get me more happy, I think. I don't like doing stuff to this car unless it's a modification. Right, I don't really want to be spending out thousands of pounds unless it's to do with adding power or making the sound better. That's what you want. But we'll see you for the next one.